After coming up short and watching your dreams become nightmares, where do you stand? Do you cower in defeat, or do you pick your head up and fight? This is my final road to glory. Coming off our bowl win against Duke and heading into our senior season, we start things off at Hawaii. On both sides of the ball, the Suns dominated. As I reflect on my past 3 seasons, having a losing season my first 2 seasons, winning a bowl game, growing as a person and a player, I thank God. I think back to my favorite scripture, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And with that, we start our season 1-0. Heading into week 2, the Suns break the top 25, and this week they host the FCS East. Not much film on this game due to the opposing team running the option and our defensive line shutting things down expeditiously. So we breeze on to week 3, 2-0. This week we climbed to rank 21, and we face our old-time rival, Liberty. We start things off in the opening quarter by getting a pick 6, going up 7-0. On this play, I stopped the running back, holding them to a 3-and-out. I meet the running back at the line of scrimmage, and then I do a TikTok to celebrate. The QB shrugs off my teammate's sack attempt, but I leave my zone and finish the job. At this point, down 27-0. The game is over. But let's add some salt to the wound. And we shut down our rivals 34-0 at home and go up 3-0 on the season. During the bye week, I signed another NIL, and I grow my leadership in the process. Following the bye, we are now ranked 17 in the nation, and we host Troy. I avoid the would-be blocker and hold the running back to a 2-yard gain. Here I undercut the route and get my first interception of the season. I recognize the halfback screen and come across the field to deliver a big hit. The QB found a hole in the coverage and delivers a dot to tie the score at 10. Just before halftime, I'm back in coverage and I realize we get a fumble and we eventually get a scoop and score, and then we go up 24-10. Coming out the half, I let this running back have it. With this 4th and 4, I come up and kill their hopes of a comeback. After shutting them out the second half, we win 31-10. We go up to 4-0 on the season. After only going up 1, we are now ranked 16 in the nation, and we face JMU in a conference matchup. Freshman year, I struggled with this, but now I can meet running backs in the hole. Late in the second, we're up 14, but they're about to give up the sticks because we get a pick 6 to go up 21-0. The QB doesn't learn his lesson and throws another pick 6 to the same side. Never gotten a touchdown in my 4 years. Until now. We're up big and we're still hitting as hard as ever. After I tackled his running back, he doesn't want to get back up. Following this touchdown, the coach takes me out for the rest of the game. But we do go on to win 49-10, and our record goes up to 5-0. I've been wanting to increase my quickness since last season, and this takes my overall to 87. Just before our next game, I signed another NIL deal and increased my block shedding and gained 75,000 followers. I'm on the come up. For our week 7 matchup, we're up against Army, and we have reached top 10 in the nation. The first time ever in my college career, the first time in school history. It's a lot of big stuff happening. We're breaking barriers here. But as I said, we're up against Army, so it won't be much film because they're a triple option team. My D-line are dogs, so they're shutting down everything quick, fast, in a hurry. I will say, though, in the midst of this beatdown, Army didn't go down without a fight. They didn't score in your conventional Army triple option fashion, though, but they were scoring, but they were throwing bombs. But in the end, we come out with a win 41-20 and go on to 6-0 on the season. Week 8, and we're ranked 9th in the nation. We're spinning the block on our biggest ops, Appalachian State. Last year, we shut them out at home. This time, no shutout, but we definitely walk out with the dub. Not much film this game. App State refused to try me or the middle, so they tried our corners. When they did try me, the running back got punished, and I almost make an acrobatic interception. So my final spin on App State is 41-10, and we're up 7-0. The unranked Marshall comes to Brooks Stadium to try and ruin our perfect season. It's a low-scoring game in the beginning. However, we get a huge safety that saves us in the end. On this play, our key defensive back gets injured, and the very next play, they throw to that side of the field and score. But he returns on the following drive just to make this clutch deflection, and we escape to move on to 8-0. Despite us being undefeated, we fall out of the top 10 back to 12th. But it's week 10 and we're hosting Georgia State. I'm dishing hits the whole game, but they get in the end zone first. But we know the saying, it's not how you start, but how you finish. And our defense takes one to the crib, but they don't go down quietly. So I send them home with a huge hit and a huge L. And we go on to 9-0 on the season as we win 45-17. As the field general, it's imperative that I know what's going on at all times. So I decide to increase my IQ, and this takes my overall to 89. As we continue our streak of perfection, we only go up to rank 11 in the nation as we travel to Texas State for our week 11 matchup. I had my way with this offense, no Diddy, but with the boost in my IQ, I was aware of everything, and I was knocking heads off. And the QB peeped this. He told his receiver to blur one of my corners, but in the end, it didn't matter as we walk out of there 10-0 on the season. We take a trip down I-95 for our week 12 matchup against Georgia Southern. Once the QB realized his teammates were running around headless, he decided to go to the air end. I throw the running back out the club on this hit. They score off the wide receiver screen, a long one at that. But it's all good because we get it back on the next possession. And we walk out of here with a 41-point win and go on to 11-0 on the season. As we approach playoffs, I look to improve my wrap-up ability because tackling is imperative come the playoffs. Can't forget your fundamentals. We face Old Dominion as our last regular season opponent, and we finally are back in the top 10. I think only the D-line and the linebacker showed up this game defensively because I was flying to the ball, knocking people's lights out, the usual. D-line was swarming to the ball. But I think the DBs are still in Georgia because whoever was on the field playing DB was getting blurred like a lot, like the whole game. and the running back broke a long one, and there was no one to chase him down. So shout out to the offense for showing up. Definitely shout out to the offense for putting up points on the board. Because as a defense, we gave up a lot, like a whole lot of points, more than usual. But we end our regular season 12-0, and we completed the perfect regular season. Following our bye, we have a rematch from Week 11 against Texas State for the Sun Belt Conference Championship. I decided to increase my aftershock so I can increase the dosage of CTE I give out each game. Not much to note from this game, just the first 3 scores of Coastal were by pick 6. I don't think I've ever seen that IRL or on a game. Now, they didn't get shut out, but we do walk out of here with the W, making us back-to-back Sun Belt champions. And next, we look on to our next bowl game. No snub this season, and the stage is set. Because of our undefeated record, we have received a first-round bye. And just a side note, I've been on All-American difficulty. Anyways, we will play the winner of the USC and Alabama game, but I was geeking when I found out I was named an All-American. I was the 3rd best linebacker, but my goal has always been to get a natty, so let's get it.
Stadium, site of this year's Verbo Fiesta Bowl, which of course is part of the college football playoff. It's time now for the quarterfinals. For the top 4 seeds, a time to begin their quest toward the national championship. But they run into a battle-tested team already coming off 1 playoff victory, trying to shock the world here today and make the semifinals. As we'll see the number 12 seed in this playoff, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the number 4 seed in the playoff, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, here in the booth with Kirk Herbstreit. And here we go, a college football playoff quarterfinal game. Only one team here can keep their championship dreams alive.
Our offense comes out scoring, and we're up 14-0. And we add 2 more with the safety. Following the safety, I was like a heat-seeking missile. I was knocking heads off, lights out, whatever you want to call it. Because I thought back on last year, and I had something to prove. The DBs decided to give up some pity points, but in the end, we win our first round matchup 40-13, making us the Fiesta Bowl winners. The job's not done. As we can see, we will face the number 1 seeded Georgia in the semis. On the other side is number 2 Penn State versus number 11 Pitt in the Orange Bowl. Let's go. Before we hop in, you can't forget your fundamentals. Can't forget your fundamentals. Now let's hop in.
Welcome everyone to Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium, site of this year's Goodyear Cotton Bowl, part of course of the college football playoff. We've reached the semifinal stage, one last hurdle to clear before the national championship game. And we'll find out here today which side has the toughness and the depth to keep driving toward that ultimate goal, the chance to raise that gold trophy over their heads. As we'll see the number 4 seed in this playoff, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, taking on the top-seeded team in the playoff, the Georgia Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, joined by Kirk Herbstreit. It's been a tremendous college football playoff so far, and it's down to this, the semifinals. Which team will head on to the national championship game?
I must say, I see why Georgia was the number 1 seed. Out of all my opponents this season, Georgia motioned almost every play. If they caught you leaning, they were going to capitalize on it. Once we figured it out, we figured out what was going on, they were getting a dose of CTE. This was a high-powered offense versus a high-powered defense. And we all know the saying, defense wins championships. So Georgia received a news flash today. And with that said, we have taken down the number 1 seed. We're winners of the Cotton Bowl. But once again, job's not done. As you can see, Penn State has defeated Pitt and will face us for all the marbles. The moment I've been waiting for. After 2 losing seasons, after being snubbed from the playoffs, after committing as a 2-star, this is my moment to show everyone that I belong. We get out to an early 10-0 lead, but that changes with one spin move, and Barry Sanders Jr. cuts the lead to 3. The offense responds with a touchdown, and we tackle Buddy behind the line of scrimmage here. Just before half, they're driving, but I make a huge play to shut it down. Sadly, those will be the last 7 points the offense scores as we approach the final whistle, and the blocker blocked me just enough to throw off my tackle. I try to right my wrong by making a tackle and holding on the goal line. I'm thinking bend but don't break, but on the very next play, they score. Then they want to go for 2 and cut the lead to 3, but we denied the 2 points. Since our offense has left and went to the lockers already, we have to hold up and stop them for over 3 minutes. As I see the running back leaking from the backfield, I'm headed there, and my corner gave up too much space, and we end up giving up a huge gain in the process. The tension is high, and everyone's on the edge of their seat. But what's the saying? Special players make special plays in special moments. From underdog to national champion, job's done. I've achieved my goal of getting my alma mater a national championship. I stayed all 4 years and literally got it out the mud as a 2-star. And 4 years later, I'm a national champion. Underdog is not for the weak, and I did it with a realistic build, not meta, so that adds a challenge. So if you would like to try the underdog route, or you're on the fence about it, I recommend trying it once. You'll appreciate it in the end. But my road to glory has come to an end. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.